is brought to you by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
With all the hype leading up to it, I thought it lived up to the billing. Both teams made plays. I thought both teams offensively executed. Defensively, we didn't execute a whole lot very well. I told the guys, at this part of the season, usually doesn't come down to a talent thing. It comes down to who wants it more.
Snap good, hold down, kick is up, and it is good! Gino Garcia has kicked the ball through the uprights to give the Red Raiders a 3-point lead with 3 seconds to play.
Points, so there's one area that we didn't do well and how we battled hard the second half. I think it was A.J. Mound and an aggressive team.
Our guys came to play today. I don't know if anybody was worried or questioned about it. Our guys came to play. We beat a good Baylor team. Baylor does a great job of different things, trick plays, fake things on special. They're always going to fight. They were down, 30 against UCF at.
Consistency in how the program operates on a daily basis impacts the confidence level of every single person in the program and thus influences performance.
With the quick turnaround from not having as much time to prepare and things like that, I think the biggest thing for this game was just, focusing on us, doing things that, we try to work on every single day.
I had no idea about it. Coach Chandy just told me after the game that I broke the record, and I'm like, I was just jumping around because I was so excited.
Here's the snap, here's the spot, here's the kick, plenty of leg, and it's good! The Texans walk off with a win. Yes! Cincinnati! They take it 30-27.
Here's the snap. It's a good one. The hold is good. The kick is on its way, end over end, and it is good, but there's a flag on the field. It looks like it's Joel Petonio celebrating. Yeah, the Browns are celebrating.
Fouls for illegal leverage. Field goal will count. This will end the game.
And good afternoon. Welcome to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB 95.5 FM, the talk of the town. Monday always comes. That's a good thing because we have plenty of things to talk about on the Sports Day show. Steve Webster with you, along with Aaron Clark, Mike Corson. Mike Hesher may be coming back tomorrow, but no one knows where he went to begin with. But he is scheduled back tomorrow. So running the program today is Mr. Landon Winkler, who's done a fine job filling in the big shoes for Mike Hesher. On the show today, a lot of things to talk about: high school football, college football, whatever you want to talk about. Graben Tribune sports editor Jim Mazunas will be in. Also, Barton women's soccer lose their opening match of the NJCAA national tournament yesterday, 1-0. And now they come back this evening at 5:30 against Tyler, Texas. We'll talk about it with head coach O.C. Kamara, who will be joining us from Wichita here on the program. Of course, all the weekend headlines. You heard the sounds the past 48 hours. We'll get to those in just a moment. But breaking news today here on the program. This is a heartbreak for Mike Corson. The Wienermobile got pulled over in Hayes. What is happening here?
If you've ever driven in Hayes as a college student, you know there's DUI traps about every other block.
Was the Wienermobile man intoxicated?
I doubt it. He just got stuck on the wrong way. All those one-way streets over by the college trip you up.
Ash. Yeah.
Can you imagine navigating the, 27-foot Wienermobile down those streets?
Did they give him a ticket that Oscar Mayer had to pay?
Surely it's just a warning, checking for warrants. And I would not drive the Wienermobile through Hayes during Oktoberfest. I'd stay out of that part of town.
Do you think he got pulled over and he was like, "Now fellas, if you let me off the hook here, I can hook you up with some premium hot dogs right out the back of the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile."
How'd you like a weenie whistle, Officer Brown?
I see you got that little whistle around your neck right now. Imagine the intimidation when you whistle down a perp with the Oscar Mayer weenie whistle.
Yeah, if you pull out of the Wienermobile, you need to be cited. I mean, you need to be written up.
No, I think it's a free pass.
Does he got to come back to face violations in court?
Only if he probably wants to fight it.
Hopefully he has to appear with the vehicle, too. Imagine trying to park that in a courthouse parking lot.
Exactly, and then you get another citation because your Wienermobile's sticking halfway out in the middle of Fort Street.
Okay, so when you pull over a vehicle, you have to describe it 1044 with a white Ford Bronco. What do you? Let's get the radio. Let's Freedom of Information Act that radio call.
So there you go. The breaking news of the day: the Wienermobile got pulled over. We were much nicer to him. He probably ran a couple red lights, but that's no problem here in town.
We let him stop at both Dillons even. We let him a day at the big Dillons, a day at the little Dillons too. Make it a big deal.
As long as that red light just turns red as you enter the intersection, you're still okay. Just saying. Okay, you ready to go? Sounds of the weekend. Zach Baird knows you need more than just talent to win in the postseason. Well, it helps that you have that. We came on this program and accurately described the way this game was going to go. It was going to be a defensive struggle. My prediction was that Tony Moore would make a couple of big plays, and they would win the game. 21-13, 21-14, maybe 21-7. No.
Well, you got the big plays, but you can add a couple more.
49-42, Hoisington beat Southeast of Saline. I watched that game and just in shock most of the night. And then I do not think, boys, Hoisington has been stopped on a drive since the first half of the Beloit game.
They did punt one away, I believe.
Okay, all right.
I think one time. But the big one was obviously Southeast could have got the ball back down 7. 3rd and 14, little screen pass to Taryn Kraft, runs for 17, gets the first down, able to run out the clock. But also, to me, coming out and stopping Southeast on the very first drive.
3, smack them down.
And then scoring on the next one, that was pivotal. And then the big one for me also, you had Jason Robinson scoring and then intercepting a pass, I think, on the next possession, and Tony Moore intercepted a pass, runs 38 yards, and then sets up a touchdown. So those two kids had back-to-back interception touchdown type plays.
I don't know where you even start. I mean, he started the game with Kraft, running, Robinson going, or Alderdice went on the outside, and then they just attacked the middle. Someplace I know that when you're the play-by-play guy, but I was listening to pregame show, and Cole was talking to Zach Baird, said, well, do you change anything up because you got to go against that big physical defensive line of Southeast of Saline? He said, we kind of do what we do. Kraft over 30 carries, 165, something like that, and they just gashed him on the inside. I just kept waiting for Southeast to maybe go to a 5-man front, so that the 3-4 look they always give you. Make some adjustments on the gaps that they were doing, and Hoiston just pounded it all night long. And then Tony Moore was fabulous. Hats off to the Hoiston Cardinals, and of course the Cardinals couldn't stop Southeast of Saline's passing attack, and some of those were unbelievable catches and throws, and sometimes they were wide open. It was,
and that's the one thing that stood out to me about Southeast of Saline. In the pregame show, you heard the head coach Mitch Hedberg. Gebhardt, my bad. Mitch Hedberg, my bad. Mitch Gebhardt. Mitch Gebhardt. You heard him talking about how he likes to steal some of those the designs and those play on concepts on offense from the 49ers, from that Shanahan system, and you could kind of see it in the offense. He had a lot of crossing routes, a lot of guys who would start on one side of the field and go to the opposite side, but then that quarterback is booting out to that side as well. It's hard to keep track of those guys in coverage across the middle of the field, and we saw Southeast of Saline able to overcome it, but every time the Trojans had a punch for Hoisington, it seemed like the Cardinal offense had an answer. Whether it was from Tony Moore, whether it's Taryn Kraft, Mason Alderdice getting an incredible catch in the end zone, just all-around plays from the Cardinal offense, able to answer back, score 49 points on a team that hadn't allowed that in the first 8 weeks of the season, hadn't allowed 49 points all season. And to put that up on them at home, it was an electric atmosphere. Great win.
Couple crazy plays being on the sideline. You could see him that first pass. It was 3rd and long. Not sure Hoisington didn't intercept it, but they called it incomplete. He had it. There was a roll around. They called it incomplete, but it was a weird play. And then late in the game, Southeast scored on a touchdown. I think it was Alderdice was there, broke it up, And as the ball's getting ready to fall down, a Southeast kid happened to be there to snap it up. But it was almost an interception as well. That you won't see that on the score sheet because it's a touchdown for Southeast, but it was half a second from an interception.
That's when I was pressing Mike Corson on the show for who's going to win. And then as soon as the show got over with, he told me, Hoiston's going to win 49-42.
It was incredible. He didn't want to sound ridiculous because he was predicting an offensive shootout with two of the best defenses in 2A, but Mike's turned off and he blurts that out. It was an incredible prediction from Corson.
They will play at Norton on Friday night. Norton beat Ellsworth. Norton beats everyone 20-6. 14-6.
Some teams like playing that version of football. Apparently, the Blue Jays are fine doing it. A talented team, Hoisington, got ahead to Norton. It'll be fun to see what the offense can do. If Tony Moore and Taryn Kraft can replicate what they did on Friday, it's going to be tough to stop the Cardinals.
I saw that Norton defense Beloit did nothing against them. And other than for about 1 or 2 drives, Beloit did nothing against Hoisington. So I am hesitant to say it's going to be tough sledding against that Norton defense because they are big and physical, especially on the front. What I saw on Friday night is I don't know. Mike Corson with some very vivid memories of the last time these two teams played in Norton.
Yeah, my first time up at Norton, I don't know what the temperature was, but I know there was snow everywhere. You get up there, there's slush everywhere. Probably hampered the Hoisington run attack. Still ahead late in that game, and then Norton kicks a long field goal to win it and advance to the state finals.
On a cold night.
I was going to say, long field goal
one of the most
cold
ridiculous
night.
football games I've ever seen. So obviously this is a new group of Cardinals, but like I was saying this morning, I think it's more cathartic for media members and maybe even coaches to go up there and redo that game, even though it's a completely different circumstance.
Be a great setting.
And
it's nice.
It's going to be beautiful. But yeah, after watching that offense against Southeast, I feel a little bad for anybody who tries to get in the way of them, so hopefully they can repeat.
Okay.
Also, just before we move off of it, Hoisington getting Tony Moore in on some defensive action in that game too. Looked very good, and a little flashback to his sophomore year when he was linebacker. Cardinals had him playing some safety in this game, but he came up, made a couple tackles for loss, was making plays all around the field.
More unleashed. We're going to talk Hoiston Cardinal football with Zach Baird on Wednesday. He will be in. And I'll have a couple players along. I think we're going to talk to Mr. Kraft. I think that'd be a good one. And I think
assuming
Jason
he's not
Robinson. So
assuming we don't have any unexpected absences. Last time we found out a Cardinal was a mathlete.
Yeah.
we don't have any newfound talents on the Hoisington Cardinal football team, which
they can do it all. So.
Apparently, it's a well-rounded team over there.
Over on the east, Nemaha Central will get a rematch with Sabetha after Nemaha Central came up with a victory. It was really interesting to see some of the scores. Everybody's talking about the 3A matchup, and Cheney got a pretty good battle in their game. They end up winning, and they move on. They beat Clay Center 23-21. And then we go back, okay, Clay Center's lost one game this year. Who was it to? Southeast of Saline, who couldn't do anything against that Southeast defense.
And I wasn't able to find it Friday. Where is this 3A game this week?
At Cheney.
Back there.
Yep, they were the district champs.
To pick some lines later this week because sure wouldn't want to play Andale twice in a season, and especially based off that score, I think Andale's not going to be.
Andale 50, Wichita Collegiate 25.
We've said it before on the program. It's hard to beat a good team twice, and even though they were able to beat them earlier this year, I still consider Andale a very good team in the state. It'll be a matchup with a lot of eyes on it again.
Okay, I know your line will move during the week, but set it right now. Someone wants to come down and take advantage of what you have, Mike Corson, at the dumpster in the alley.
Cheney plus 17.5. I will remind you, it was 22-0 in the first half.
Can I borrow a 20 from you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, all right.
I get 10% of what you earn off of it.
Well, I'll pay you back the 20 before
There
you get
you
the
go.
end of the. 17.5.
Andale's going to be angry. You wouldn't like them when they're angry,
So they're not
Steve.
going to try if we get back to this. They've got a chip on their shoulder, Michael.
I think, I mean, they hadn't lost in 4 years. It's easy to maybe overestimate how good you are. And then after that, I got to think that it's pedal to the metal all the time.
The motorcycles will be rumbling in Victoria Friday night. As the Knights take care of Dighton 66-20, they will take on South Central. Man, a team just got so much better as the season got along. They beat Mineola 58-12. And so it'll be South Central at Victoria coming up on Friday.
Did you see the interception Victoria was able to pull off in that game?
No.
Who are they playing? Pawnee
Dighton.
They were playing Dighton. My bad. I was mistaken the game. It is Victoria, though. Dighton goes for an end-around backwards pass. They pitch it to a receiver going from left to right. He stops trying to throw it. Victoria plays incredibly disciplined defense, able to pick it off in the end zone, and pretty good night for Victoria, it seemed.
So they'll be home on Friday. That's a 6 o'clock kick in Victoria. Our last remaining playoff team and our extended area, Pawnee Heights, they lose to Cunningham 70-6 in the 8-man playoffs. Okay, let's move on to some other sounds of the weekend. The call on the Red Raider Network, Gino Garcia makes a 30-yarder. Texas Tech beats KU 16-13. KU had gone for a field goal to tie it. How much time was left? It was only like 30 seconds. Boom, boom, boom. 3 passes, including one down to the 7-yard line. And that was a gut punch for KU. And, of course, Jason Bean is out. Now they get Kansas State on Saturday, who just blew past Baylor over the weekend. Lance Leipold talking about the loss. Chris Kleiman talking about the win over Baylor, 59-25. So now we get the – so I wish the pollsters would have just been a little bit more friendly. KU drops out. They're number 27. Had they stayed in the top 25 –
a top 25 ranked Sunflower State showdown
for the first time since 1995.
This loss does take a lot of steam out of it. Will be nationally televised, which is nice for people. Sometimes it's not, but it looks like it's going to be on FS1.
I think it's really unfortunate because earlier in the season when KU was rolling, when Jalen Daniels was healthy, the Sunflower Showdown was looking like it could be good, just K-State pretty good. KU, he gets injured and it's thrown into question. Then Jason Bean starts playing very well, looking like he may have the KU offense rolling. Now he gets injured the week before. I don't know. I was pretty excited.
Is he part of? I guess he was on the sideline Saturday. Jalen Daniels.
Yes,
but what?
I think the back is just done. I don't know if KU's officially said it, but everything I've kind of seen has indicated that he's not coming back this year.
Is he coming back at all to KU since he'll?
It's a tough situation.
Year. Yeah. All right. What's going on in the Big 12? Hey, how about Oklahoma State, man? They're stepping up to the table, right? How do you
just get?
They
your
lose at
doors
UCF 45-3.
I mean, Malzahn's offenses have always been able to put up numbers like that, but Oklahoma State coming off of the win, they control their own destiny after beating Oklahoma.
They're the best
Bedlam.
running backs in the country.
He's gotten I don't know how many Big 12 Offensive Player of the Weeks this year, and just put up it was a disappointing a week all around for the Pokes.
And maybe I was watching the Oklahoma game, but talking about K-State, 3 losses by a total of 14 points. Their point differential, their margin, ranks 7th in the country. So even with 3 losses, they're beating people by more than Ohio State. So they're talking about the best matchup for Texas in the Big 12 finals, but it on paper would probably be K-State. Whether that'll happen or not, we'll see.
Texas lost a good running back, too, for the year.
It's funny because they lost 2 running backs to the NFL draft last year in Bijan Robinson and Roschon Johnson, and so you'd think they might be working with a deficit at that position anyway. Can't think of the young man's name off the top of my head, but he was doing excellent behind a Texas offensive line that was rolling pretty well, but unfortunately he goes down. Quinn Ewers back, though, so at least they do have him coming back when they lose their starting running back.
Texas 6-1, then you have Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, Iowa State, Kansas State, all at 5-2. Then West Virginia, Texas Tech, and KU all 4-3.
Well, K-State should win. Where they got Iowa State and KU. So who has to lose? Oklahoma?
Well, I don't know what the three-way ties, four-way ties.
He does.
All right, Ross Bjork. I just threw this in. Jimbo Fisher gets fired. What a way to do it. You go out the door and you're still going to get $75 million.
I'm telling the American dream is being a fired football coach. You get paid so much money and you can just do he can do whatever he wants for the next couple of years because he's getting $75 million.
Yeah, his great grandkids can do whatever they want.
Assuming until he gets bored, because I assume at some point he'll get bored again. But he's been a coaching who knows how long.
You know what Mrs. Jimbo's going to say to him?
That's true.
You are not going back to work.
The former first lady of Texas A&M football.
She might want him out of the house. Yeah, another big firing. Edmonton Oilers, we always play our hockey clips. Edmonton's been in the playoffs, making deep playoff runs for how long?
And they're garbage this year.
And they can their coach. Like, wow.
Well,
not what you did.
Last I saw, they only had 3 wins. I think
stop.
It's too early in the season to talk hockey.
Just because Hesh in here doesn't mean you got to derail the football conversation here. Barton basketball. That's Austin Downing. Thoughts on they beat 2 more wins for the Cougars.
It was impressive showing. I had got the privilege of seeing them take on the Enid Jets. When I saw them, obviously they were taking on the McPherson JV. That's a squad they expected to have a lot of success against. They were able to put up over 100 points there. It was a display of the Cougar offense in action. Last night, or 2 nights ago rather, got to see what the Cougars could do on defense against a little bit of an off shooting night for Barton. I think they only shot 36% from the field. So not great, but they had some terrific defensive performance. The hustle we saw from the fellas on the court, just trying to get in the passing lanes, making sure Enid had to settle for shots, not giving them open looks. Impressive team defense from Barton.
Barton hadn't been challenged so far. They've rolled to 5 wins. Lady Cougars went 1-1, beat Labette 89-36 on day 2. I guess they won both their games. They beat Redland 74-41. They'll get a rematch coming up this week. And a new assist record set in that game.
It does. Kezia Bertoni, the 16 assists she was able to drop in that game, a new high for Barton women's basketball. I believe she had 11 in the first half, which I knew she was going to be up there, and it's nice getting the stats in at half, getting the official stats. But 11, and I didn't know what the record was. I assumed that was going to be in the ballpark for one half of putting her in reach of it, and she got it. Just incredible vision all over the court. 16 assists.
16 dimes. That's pretty good. So
get under the low block and outside. Impressive vision.
Redlands on Wednesday on the road. And then a couple more play-by-play highlights. A call on KILT. Matt Amendola sinking a 38-yarder. Zeros on the clock. Texans beat the Bengals 30-27. It was a glorious day for the Chiefs. They didn't even play. And then those Baltimore Ravens, boy, here they come. Best team in the AFC. And he got beat by Cleveland, 33-31. Good weekend for Kansas City.
It was a great weekend for Kansas. Did you see what the all of those field goals meant for the NFL?
What was there, 5 game-winning field goals?
5 game-winning field goals, the most in 1 week in NFL history on one day. So a lot of close games. Baltimore, tough loss, but that's a good Cleveland defense. I'd be excited to see.
No one said those words before, ever in the history of.
No, it was such a good weekend. You could say Karma's a guy on the Chiefs. You obviously heard what happened in Argentina. The lyrics got changed to a Taylor Swift song.
What?
So Travis Kelce went to Argentina to watch Taylor. She changed the lyrics to one of her songs to say, Karma is a guy on the Chiefs.
It's usually something like Karma. What's the usual lyric? My sister texted me about this.
I can sing it, but I can't think of it.
It's something about the guy on the screen. I don't remember.
But yeah, so
this isn't going well.
It's not going away.
He was in Argentina, and now he's got to come back and play the Eagles.
He went to Argentina?
That's what it seems like. He was there.
Good Lord. This is, okay, and I'll throw you in on this, Landon. The dumbest things you've ever done in your entire life were the result of what? A relationship with a girl, right?
I could say my own hubris sometimes.
He's not making wise decisions. He's smitten. He's been bit by the love bug.
And
he's going to end up doing it.
You got one life.
She's going to tell him no, that it's over.
You got one life. He's got millions. He's got, 2 Super Bowls? What more can he get? Now he's got... I was listening to Taylor Swift this weekend. I'm like,
it's all
I
great
forgive you,
right
Travis.
now, and then the clock strikes midnight, and then you turn into a mouse.
Maybe. But she's never changed the
relationship.
Might
Might be temporary, but that lyric will live on in the Mystica forever now.
But if I'm Travis Kelce, at this point, I've accomplished quite a bit. I'm set financially, 2-time Super Bowl winner. I'm a celebrity. I'm chasing this. So credit to him.
Again, you do
get a third. Get a third Super Bowl.
No,
he's got plenty of time to go be smitten after this. He's still an elite tight end.
Do you want to be known as Mr. Swifty the rest of your life?
Yeah, I'd take that. I'd put that on the door.
I will.
He needs a fame and fortune too. He's not gonna enjoy that.
Why?
He's not going to enjoy that. This is not going to.
So if you go back and look, there's a video from 2016 where he says something about her. This wasn't an overnight deal. This is almost a decade in the works.
He's just been building his fame, hoping for the chance to get to talk to Taylor Swift.
The stars aligned one night in November, whatever it was.
She comes to Arrowhead.
That's going to be like the Queen of England being her husband.
Well, she has no.
Did you remember who that was?
I mean, I agree. I don't think that I'd want to go down in history known as Taylor Swift's umpteenth ex.
But what about if it's Taylor? What about if it's Mr. Swifty, though?
I'll go down in history as Taylor Swift's janitor if she let me.
Okay. Jim Mazunas is in here. This is just going on. Jim, you're going to join this when we come back. So we've got extra mics. So we'll just continue. Sports headlines of the day are coming up here. Also, O.C. Kamara will be joining us here later on the program. They play at 5:30 tonight against Tyler. They need a win. They need a win in pool play. Sports Day continues after this.
Get the power you need for your farm equipment. The power of peace of mind that dependable Cenex lubricants deliver. With decades of proven off-road performance backed by the industry-leading Cenex Total Protection Plan warranty. Cenex heavy-duty diesel engine oils, hydraulic fluids, gear lubricants, and greases are formulated to provide superior protection for load-bearing equipment. The power you need to keep your business running like a well-oiled machine.
Contact American Plains Co-op Fuel Department in Great Bend, your certified Cenex distributor today.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
It's another instant finalist day for the Shop at Home for the Holidays $10,000 shopping spree, presented by Bauer Computers, Mater Plumbing, Heating and Air, your Bryant dealer, and Eagle Communications. And you want to be at that new place in Olmutz today. So grab the friends, head on over, lunch or dinner, doesn't matter, get registered, and you can be our next instant finalist and win $10,000 that you get to spend right before Christmas. So that new place, man, they got the menu for any appetite. We're talking burgers, fresh, never frozen, homemade dinners, and a great selection of appetizers, and yes, the ice-cold beer. So get your fix from that new place today. You got till 7 tonight to sign up. Somebody's going to win it, and it might be somebody who walks through the door today at that new place in Olmutz. Grill closes at 9 and plenty of time for that short drive to Olmutz. It's that new place. You got till 7 o'clock. The Shop at Home for the Holidays $10,000 shopping spree presented by Bauer Computers, Mater Plumbing, Heating and Air, your Bryant dealer, and Eagle Communications and Whole Broadcasting.
He's covered more big games than anyone else in the Golden Belt. He might be on your sideline, in your gym, or just about anywhere there's a game. Sports Day presents the Great Bend Tribune's Jim Ozunas.
Jim's going to be on this segment whether he likes it or not.
That's right. We're ready to roll.
Jim Ozunas in with us today, so we're just going to continue our sports headlines today. Wichita State won last night, by the way. They beat Friends.
They trailed early, I hear.
They were down 14-9. The Fighting Falcons came out at Koch Arena, but then Wichita State ended up winning that game 95-65. K-State wins. They beat Bellarmine 83-75 Friday. KU beat the Jaspers of Manhattan 99-61. So KU playing tomorrow night. They'll play Kentucky in the Champions Classic. We'll have both those games for you. Duke and Michigan State coverage starting at 5:30. Remember that, Landon. We've got a 5:30 start tomorrow. I'll send you an email on that. My man's all over it. And high school playoffs. So, Jim, as soon as welcome into the program, we'll let you get your thoughts in on Hoisington, southeast of Saline.
Yeah, simply put, the best Hoisington football game I've ever seen. And I saw him playing the championship game against Rossville, but that was the most exciting, thrilling football game that Hoisington that I've ever seen.
You said, against everybody else, you said the over and under in that game was 80. You were the only one that pegged it.
Yeah, it's hard to guess on those. I think the only one you can depend on is Iowa football. Guess the under.
Did they cover?
Well, they won.
It was 27.5.
Yeah, it was 22. They had 22 points, yeah. So they were under.
I never would have bet the under on that. That's incredible.
You know who they should get? Caitlin Clark should come on down and
guess who
fire the
plays?
pigskin.
Guess who plays your girl Thursday?
South Carolina?
Kansas State. Biggest college basketball game of the week in the women's side.
It's in Manhattan. You want to go?
No, it's in.
I know. I wanted to see his tail wag.
Name the only team that left Caitlin Clark in tears last year. It was Kansas State. Because Kansas State beat them in Manhattan last year.
Look at that.
Bramlage is a tough place to play.
It has been for volleyball. They just knocked off number 3 Texas last week.
Okay. Let's run these down. I want to know here we go, sub-states. Just quick yay or nay. Hoisington, Norton.
Yeah, Hoisington.
Hoisington.
Norton. Nemaha Central, Sabetha.
Nemaha.
Central.
Yep. Eisenhower, Capon. Eisenhower.
I'm going Eisenhower.
I'll give you a stat here. Over under for Omari Elias touchdowns Friday night.
4.
6.
Yeah, 6.
How about 340 yards?
And it was another close game. So, yeah, they're not blowing people out.
No, they're giving up a ton of points. What, 55? Yeah. They gave up 45 or 47?
He had 349 and 6 touchdowns. So, Great Bend actually did a pretty good job on him a week ago.
Seems like he's building. I'll go with Capon.
South Central, Victoria.
Yeah, Victoria's
big.
Frankfurt, Axtell. These those
Axtell, yeah.
Andale, Cheney.
Andale.
17.5 if you want a little bit of that action.
That's a good line.
Okay.
Look at that.
Holton, Topeka, Hayden.
Really?
Okay. Anything else? Okay, here's the big ones here. Okay, so in 4A.
Let me guess.
There's only Aquinas is the only private school left. They take on Tonganoxie. Aquinas 8-3, Tonganoxie 9-2, Andover Central against Wamego 2 9-2 teams. And Andover Central has kind of been on the bubble all year, huh?
Yeah, they just got on a roll apparently.
Okay,
had to go with Aquinas there.
Anything your Pawnee Heights boys went down.
Yeah, the nice thing about that though is Cunningham had outscored teams 500-0 over the course of 8 games.
500-0.
They hadn't given up a point since week 1, so their average score was like 50-60-0. So Leighton Monk took a kickoff and went 60 yards for a touchdown. So at least that shut that shutout streak down. But yeah, good year for Pawnee Heights. So their district had 3 of the final 8 teams because Cunningham has a bye into the final because they beat Tescott the first time, just like 50-0. So
Yeah, Tescott. They get Tescott again.
yeah, and just like they got Pawnee Heights again. So that district was very, very good.
Ashland at Cheyenne.
Yeah, Charlene's got a really good athlete.
And you just need one in that.
Yeah.
And now Topeka is, how do you say that? Paravel?
Yeah, I've never heard of him.
It's like a classical school. But they're playing football too. Well, it's not going to matter. They play Linden and Wichita County. What's the over and under going to be in Wichita County, Linden?
Be a bunch. 80. 120. That's a good guess.
Oh, it's going to be worse than Hoisington Southeast by far.
I think you over under that's got to be like 108, right?
They played Little River, and it was that kind of a game. I don't remember the exact score. It was like 60-52, 60-54 in the final. So, yeah, it could. 120 might be a pretty good guess.
Set it at 112.
Yeah.
Yeah, I shouldn't say 120. Probably more 105, 110-ish.
Okay. Any other things that stood out for you over the weekend?
Wichita East was disappointing. I know a couple of the guys Friday had said that
Connor
they expected
said,
him
yeah.
to knock him off. And it would have been a nice story because I think Wichita East has been down in the dumps for a while. So it was kind of cheering for the Aces.
Yeah, I did want to touch on Norton and Hoisington because you keep thinking like Hoisington plays 7-8 guys both ways.
I was just kidding about my pick, too, by the way.
Norton plays 8 players both ways, so there's no disadvantage there because anytime you can play less players both ways, it's an advantage. I was stunned at how big Norton's offensive line is. Their center, Connor Schoenberger, 6'7", 375.
And he wears these little glasses.
Yeah, I could see
little
that.
Doctor's glasses.
Yeah. Anyway, he was in the huddle, and he said, how tall is that guy? He's just towering over these guys. And I looked up the program. He's 6'7", 375. But just like Beloit and Norton, you got Beloit with a coach who says, hey, let's run the ball. Hey, how's it working, Coach? We're down 50-0. Hey, let's run the ball. Completely different matchup with Hoisington. And Coach Baird has embraced the pass game because he's got a quarterback who can throw it and some really good receivers. So a completely different matchup for Norton as opposed to a Beloit type of game. Or let alone an Ellsworth game. Their quarterback wasn't near the caliber of Tony Moore.
I think Norton's quarterback's thrown 1 interception this year. It's just they don't run the ball that well. I mean, look at all their games. They're 26 they win.
No, they just do it. They rely on their defense. And really, it's the kind of game where if Hoisington can score 3-4 touchdowns, they're going to be good. If it's a low score, then anything could happen. But all Hoisington has to do is, just keep doing what they're doing.
So it seems like for years the MCL, it's one of those 3 yards in a cloud of dust type leagues. So you get a lot of those 20-6 scores, people selling out up front. That's what I like about Hoisington this year is if you do that, there's other options.
Tony Moore, man, and they got speed on the outside.
They got a lot of speed, and the receivers are
ball.
really good. I mean, that was a tremendous catch for the receiver for Hoisington Friday night. Made a diving catch. Carson Mason.
How many games have you seen up at Norton?
Just one. Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
No, I've seen a couple because I remember going there once upon a time. It's one of the nicest high school stadiums in the state.
Okay,
really
you
cool.
remember Neil Millo, who was the head coach up there for a long time? And he was like one of those guys that come out. I mean, he wasn't well kept, I'll say that. But he had this whole scraggly beard and stuff, and TMP was playing it as the last game of the regular season, and TMP went up to Norton, and I was doing the TMP. And so I went out to get the pregame show with Neil Melillo, and I walked out there, and it was cold, and he'd blown his nose or something, but he had this big snot thing in his beard, and I didn't know whether, I was kind of a younger broadcast, I didn't know whether to say, Coach, you've got this. So I just let him do the interview with that on his beard, and I don't know whatever happened to it. So that's my memory of Norton.
So from a young broadcaster's perspective, what is the protocol in that situation?
I don't know. I just think he'd go on and let someone else tell him. I'm not going to. I was intimidated. So there's my Norton story.
Jim brought in the roster here. No rooters in the lot. I believe it was a rooter that was the kicker. Was he the kicker 4 years ago? But then obviously Jace Reuter was a kid that left early to go out to Carolina. Janessa Reuter is going to be a Division I track kid. So good thing no rooters for Norton this time.
Mr. Reif will have to have his Fanninsteel pronunciation. Bodie, Logan, Jarrett, and Brennan.
I think it's north of 96, so it'll be a Fanninsteel. That's what I'm guessing.
Okay. You gotta get
That's usually the way I judge it. If it's south of 96, it's a Fanninsteel. If it's north, it's going to be a Fanninsteel. And the Reuter children are of John Reuter, who led the Victoria Knights to a state championship in 1988 for the Victoria Knights out of the MCL, and went on to play at Fort Hays State for.
Yeah, it's
4
amazing
years.
how that tradition of certain schools, just like in Norton's case, Norton's always had a great football tradition, and now Hoisington can more or less rival that because perennially they're in the playoffs, perennially they're in the Final 8, Final 4, so it's nice to have that tradition of football.
And I was adding up, I don't know the numbers, but I had to go back several years just until Hoisington had 4 losses. But you're talking 19, they were 11-0 before the loss at Norton. 20, they were 12-0 until the loss in the state finals. Here we are just 3 short later. Was it 11-0 again?
And you keep waiting for them to say, okay, well, listen, I got to be running out of guys. Guys that's been steady through that. It's been Zach Baird, man. They don't change anything. I love that going into, well, I don't know. We kind of are what we are, so.
That's what we take advantage of stuff like that when it's in our own backyard. It's, how does Central Plains win that many games? Well, it's beyond a class at that point. It's a system, and so it's the same thing with Baird. But what I like about the football side is his kids are typically tough, and I don't know how you teach toughness, but he always has tough kids.
And super nice young men, too. I mean, you guys have had some Hoisington youngsters in, and just super nice, respectful, just smart young men. Hoisington should be awfully proud of what they're doing up there in their school district.
And I'll say this, Kim Rolfs took over Little Rivers volleyball team. It was a little bit disorganized. She said, if your kids can't show up to team pictures, what chance do you have at practice? What do you know? She's won back-to-back state titles. But I would go over and take pictures of some football teams. They'd be like, well, the kids aren't here. You'll have to come back. You go over to Hoisington, he'll have you in and out of there in a minute with everybody in the photo. So that it's from the top down.
What is that called? That is called culture, right? The culture of doing things right day in and day out.
Yeah, it was fun to be up in the press box Friday night. Because the assistant coaches, they're on the headphones, and Hoisington had just been running them to death, running Kraft up the middle. Then they had a little pass play coming up. He says, and so one coach says to the other, oh, wait, this one's going to be fun. And here's Mason Alderdice running untouched in the middle of the field for a 40-yard reception. So it's fun to get that perspective on the game where the coaches know what's coming up, and they say, oh, man, this one's going to work.
I think Alderdice has moved his touch to touchdown reception or ratio to 34 or 36 touches and 11 touchdowns on the year. Just any chance he touches the ball, it's a may go to the end zone, electric with the ball in his hand.
One thing that doesn't get talked about Friday night, because it turned out to be kind of a non-factor, but I like seeing big Coach Baird get fired up. Maybe an inadvertent whistle on the first 2-point conversion. Southeast scores it, which could have been crucial given that score. But I like that Gebhardt had the wherewithal to take his kids off the field. So if the umpire wanted to fix that, he was going to have to bring at least 11, if not 22 kids back out. So hadn't seen Coach Baird that fired up for a while. Kind of fun to watch him go.
Yeah, it was a fun game. Hopefully there's some more fireworks from the red side Friday night.
Kansas State KU Saturday.
Oh, yes.
The Wildcats are in pretty good shape.
Right. And we were wondering, but the tiebreaker in case of 3 teams is you got to play the same teams. So K-State wins the tiebreaker with the Oklahomas because they all played Central Florida. They're all going to have played Kansas. And Oklahoma lost to Kansas, and Oklahoma State lost to Central Florida. So the tiebreaker, if Kansas State wins out, and then Oklahoma and Oklahoma State win their 2 games, Kansas State will be in the championship game.
And they'll probably win it because don't they usually win it with 3 or 4 losses when they get in the championship game?
Yeah, there are chances with a good Texas player being out probably helps them a little bit. But Iowa State, they could give Texas some trouble this week. We'll see.
TCU almost beat Texas this week as well.
Yeah, they had a shot. It was 3rd and 15, and Texas made a tremendous pass play to get a first down.
Okay. We've reached the winter season. Practices begin today.
Yeah, we'll get that.
That will mean the return of On the with Mike Corsons. So
Hoisington's coaches, their basketball coach was up there, and he was happy that they won that game Friday. So
Kyle Hack. Oh, yeah, Kyle's on that.
He was so excited. He said, well, I'll have a skeleton crew there Monday, but that's okay.
Yeah, and he's got very used to preparing for a new basketball season with little time to prepare.
Yeah, I think it was Central Plains and Hoisington opened the season, and it was definitely a not a basketball game to open the season that year.
Jimbo, anything else?
No, I think we're good.
Probably better get to OC Kamara. He's standing by a phone down in Wichita. They're getting set to take on Tyler today. The men play this afternoon at 3, so we'll cover that coming up on Sports Day. Is there something else you want to do?
Well, just what I'll be watching for Thursday night when K-State plays is maybe we can see Ava Jones sitting on the bench there for the University of Iowa.
Well, see, and I had it on the other night, and I was specifically looking. I don't know that she's been down there.
No, it was a game, and I was doing the same thing. They played Northern Iowa, and I didn't see her on the bench. So maybe we'll get a glimpse of Ava Jones here on the bench Thursday night.
Good point. I don't remember K-State women beating Iowa last year.
Yeah, they played one of their best games of the year, and they've got their All-American back this year.
Okay.
So.
Jim, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thanks for jumping in and having the courage to come on here. Bring some Energy, yeah. Okay. I don't know. We have put plenty of energy. Okay, OC Kamara coming up next on Sport.
When it comes to car maintenance, it's good to know a local guy that can get things done. The Eller family has been in the auto repair business in Great Bend forever. Greg Eller continues that long tradition of helping people. Eller Automotive Repair specializes in wheel alignments, oil changes, and general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4 Fridays. Eller Automotive Repair at 915 Morton, right behind Great Bend Appliance, Furniture, and Sleep Source, 10th and Morton.
Love your phone but tired of your current provider? Bring your device to Next Tech Wireless and experience wireless built by Kansans for Kansans. For a limited time, get 4 lines with unlimited data for $100. Have questions? Call or text our local customer care team at 877-621-2600. Next Tech Wireless. Home on the range.
Get started with a career in healthcare through Barton Community College's Pharmacy Technician program. Gain the skills you need to assist pharmacists with the day-to-day demands of a pharmacy. Classes are 100% online and include real-world experiences at a pharmacy near you. Join this essential field in as little as 2 semesters with the flexibility of online classes. Now enrolling. Learn more at pharmtech.bartonccc.edu.
Hey everyone, this is Cole Ryan, voice of the Barton Cougars. Attending sporting events for Barton Community College is great, but did you know you can support the athletic teams even further by getting involved with the Cougar Booster Club? The Boosters help with fundraising for equipment and facility upgrades to give Barton athletes every opportunity to keep succeeding at the regional and national levels. Join the Cougar Booster Club as an individual or business. Call 620-792-9377. Become a booster today. Go Cougars.
It's Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Sports Day today brought to you in part by the American Plains Co-op Bulk Fuel Department, your certified Cenex lubricant dealer in Great Bend, and by Advanced Therapy and Sports Medicine. Get your life back. Joining us now, head coach of the Barton Lady Cougar soccer team, OC Kamara. They will play this afternoon in their second game in the national tournament down at the Stryker Sports Complex in Wichita, as they will be in action today at 5:30 taking on Tyler, Texas, after a tough loss yesterday in their opener to Eastern Florida State, 1-0. OC Kamara with us right now. Coach, man, that was so close yesterday. All the opportunities, it comes down to just couple of inches, which is the way it always a lot of times happens in soccer, man. Tough loss yesterday.
Yes, it was tough loss. You know, the girls knew that coming into this tournament that, you know, only the best team represent, you know, their college to be here. So we knew it was going to be a good game. So we came in. It didn't matter if we were like ranked 8 seed, 9 seed. It didn't matter to us. We were coming to play. So unfortunately, you know, they had a free kick and they scored the goal. So, but we didn't give up. We fight hard. The girls, I think this is one of the hardest games, and then they played so far for me, you know, this year. So, I give them credit for that, you know, because they didn't give up at all.
You had your final chance, 14 seconds left. You get a free kick just outside the box. Talk about what you wanted to do and I guess the result of that plan.
I mean, usually on a game situation like that, we just try to send it in the box. Then hopefully the goalkeeper not gonna catch it, and then maybe he's gonna bounce in the floor, and then we can just put it in, or someone will put their head. But it wasn't the case this time. So the goalkeeper went and jumped in, got the ball, and then that was it. You know.
Well, you taking on, and you said you're at the national tournament. Everybody's going to be good. How did you think your team played yesterday?
No, I think we played great. So I believe this time we went in a more defensive setup for us. We dropped our leading scorer in the back. I know she was going to control the defense line for us. Like I said, this year, all the team that be scoring to me was probably set piece. You know, like they got lucky to score the set piece. You know, same thing when we lost the championship. It was a set piece goal. Same position. The girls sent it, and then someone jump in and head it. You know, it happened even on the professional level. So, like I said, credit again to the girl. They didn't give up. You know, so.
Well, today you get Tyler, Texas at 5:30. This is a familiar opponent. You played them twice last year. Tell me about that Tyler, Texas program that you'll face at 5:30 today and what you saw in their first-round match.
I mean, today is their first game as well. So, same thing as always, Tyler will be Tyler. They will be good. They will be fast. I think they will try to launch. They will play direct, try to send long balls every time. But, you know, like I said, also we have girls in the back like Nina, Hinata, you know, my center backs, you know, they're going to help us control the game or take the ball away from the back line. You know, I think that's what we are looking for. We're going to play safety. We're going to play all game, and hopefully we're going to go score a goal. You know, that's the plan.
How does this Tyler team match up to the one that you saw last year?
I mean, they're going to be good. You know, they're going to be good. I think this year my team this year was probably better than last year, you know, and I think we are ready to compete. You know, we are ready to compete. Regardless if it was last year Tyler or this year Tyler. I mean, I have a different team as well. So we haven't played them this year, but I think we're ready to go play them for sure. I think girls are motivated, and I know it's not over yet, you know, until the final whistle.
Oh, no, not at all. But that makes it tough, man, to come in. It's your second game in a row, and it's their first for them. So I guess your girls know all about that. Just go out and don't worry about it. You got to go out and win a game.
No, I mean, like I said again, you know, this is a national tournament. Some other team would like to be at our spot right now. We are lucky we are here. We are thankful that we got the at-large bid, and then we're going to give it all. You know, like I said to the girls, it's today or never. You know, you play today, you win, you continue. You lose, it's over. The sophomore are gone, and the freshmen will learn from that. You know, they're going to see what is to play at the national tournament. So, you know, we're ready. We're ready to play for sure.
O.C. Kamara Barton, Lady Cougar soccer coach. They'll play at 5:30 today against Tyler, Texas, after falling to Eastern Florida State yesterday by the score of 1-0. So how do you handle a day like this after coming off a tough match yesterday? Kind of take me through your day, what it's been so far, and what it is going to be leading up to the match tonight.
I mean, so far, you know, wake up. I was just walking down here, the river, just to clear my mind, think what we're going to do. You know, at the end of the day, I'm a human being, you know, so just thinking tactics. If things doesn't go our way, what we're going to do. So I have all the way to 5:30, you know, to think about that. But I usually also go and talk to my captain and stuff, what we're going to do if this doesn't work. And then we're going to do that as well. So we're going to... the girl just hanging on. I think they are done with breakfast. Then we're going to go get lunch and then get back to the hotel, get ready to go support the guys playing today at 3 p.m. And then while we're watching the guys, like I said, probably I will talk to a couple of the girls on the team to see what would be the game plan. Because I also like to go and ask them what could we do to change things that didn't work out yesterday, you know.
That's a nice reflective walk down by the river in Wichita. I like that atmosphere. It's kind of cool, and you go down there and you can reflect back, but it's also reflect on where you're at, why you're there, and you're at a national tournament. That's pretty cool, OC.
For sure.
What about the men's game today? They take on Indian Hills at 3 o'clock. Any thoughts on that matchup?
I mean, Indian Hill, I think the men also, because we were also there watching Indian Hill for the last 20 minutes probably. I think the men also are excited. They played that opponent before. I think they're excited. I think they can get the result done today, 100%. I think they will get the result against Indian Hill for sure.
Okay, go out and win today and win big, OC. Good luck, okay?
Thank you.
OC Kamara with us here on Sports Day. Back with more
From
after
the
the
Mayo Money Management Studios, 1590 KVGB, Great Bend, and 95.5 FM K238CK, Hoisington.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Amy Herrera, Regional Retail Manager for your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time and I've helped many people navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people. I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you how we're committed to serving you in our communities. At Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Venture Corporation is a homegrown company with almost 50 years of experience in asphalt, paving, and construction, and they need equipment operators, mechanics, and CDL drivers. Venture offers many benefits, including 401k and Blue Cross Blue Shield health insurance. Call Leslie for all the details. Work for a family-owned and family-oriented company that is here today and will be here in the future. Venture Corporation, South Highway 281, Great Bend, is an equal opportunity employer.
If you need physical therapy, consider Advanced Therapy in Great Bend and Progressive Therapy in Larned and Hayes.
There's nothing like A-STEM therapy. This is Tim Marcus from Progressive Physical Therapy in Hayes. Research shows that A-STEM therapy improves muscle performance and neural functioning. It's highly effective for those dealing with tennis elbow, carpal tunnel, sports injuries, and general aches and pains.
You don't need to hurt. Physical therapy can help. Call Advanced or Progressive Therapy and Sports Medicine to explore your treatment options and get your life back.
Central and Western Kansas residents, are you looking for a new vehicle? Marmy Auto Group can make it happen. Marmy Auto Group includes Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep and Ram, Chevrolet, and GMC. Marmy Auto Group, your Central and Western Kansas dealer, has new and pre-owned vehicles, or we can special order your vehicle today. If your existing vehicle needs serviced, Marmy's award-winning service department can help. Come to Marmy Auto Group on 10th or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
Get started with a career in healthcare through Barton Community College's Pharmacy Technician program. Gain the skills you need to assist pharmacists with the day-to-day demands of a pharmacy. Classes are 100% online and include real-world experiences at a pharmacy near you. Join this essential field in as little as 2 semesters with the flexibility of online classes. Now enrolling. Learn more at pharmtech.bartoncccc.edu.
Appreciate it, OC.
Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Good luck to OC Kamara and the Barton Lady Cougars playing at 5:30 tonight, Stryker Sports Complex down in Wichita against Tyler, Texas. Those two teams played twice last year in Tyler, and Tyler won 2-1, and then at the national tournament last year, that was down in Georgia a year ago, and Tyler won 2-0. Of course, you need not only get a win, but get some goal differential in there for the tiebreaker, too. Barton men playing at 3 o'clock this afternoon. The Cougars, the 6th seed, taking on number 10 seed Indian Hills, Iowa. So that will be at 3 o'clock. And then the Barton men will play again tomorrow at 3 against Salt Lake. So there you go. College basketball coming up. We've got the Champions Classic tomorrow night here. Duke and Michigan State will play first game coverage at 5:30 from ESPN. Then we'll join KU in Kentucky. Of course, the Jayhawks also with the Jayhawk Network. And Brian Haney will be on Hits 106.9. So we'll have all kinds of basketball going.
It's going to be KU's first real test of the season, but I believe in them. Again, bold takes here, believing in the number 1 team. But
I love you, Aaron Clark. Hey, join us tomorrow, Sports